Hello and welcome back to our Pondering Time. Smurfy
And Naba.
here with a new topic. This time we're going to discuss our own views on wrestling, sports, entertainment futures. Remember, if it interests you, it's worth a pondering moment. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Hello and welcome back.
Welcome back.
Today we're going to be discussing wrestling and sports entertainment.
The future of it?
Yes, the future of it. I would like to get your opinions on the Forbidden Door concept.
Mine. Don't forget to share and like and subscribe, please. The Forbidden Door concept. I think that's gonna, if it works right, and the way I'm reading and watching WWE and AEW and New Japan and Impact, a little bit of AAA with Conan and some of the independent stuff like Defy and all that. This Forbidden Door could change the future of wrestling. Could be what I think every wrestling fan wants to see. A pay-per-view once a year with all the dream matches you could think of from all the organizations you follow. And I can see how they're working it or trying to work it. First, Cody Rhodes goes to WWE. Vince McMahon steps down. Triple H comes in. He hires Road Dogg. You already got Sesame Daddy-O in AEW. I can see where the connections are. They keep pumping the Bischoff just got hired to the network. Bischoff keep pumping. If I knew that the EX was at my door, I would have let him in. And WWE is pumping up with they wish they let him in. Tony Khan man comes up with the Forbidden Door concept. I can see the work. It's going to take a year, but I can see the work, and I'm praying for it. I've been talking about it ever since I talked about it, so I'm going to put it in the ether, make it happen. So I can see this Forbidden Door. It could change wrestling. I mean, it can make so many different angles. All right, what you think, Smurfy?
Okay, no, I agree with you on it because I think it would be something interesting. I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid, but the Forbidden Door, I believe if they could get everyone together and to work together, it'd be a great idea because it'd push everybody. Everybody be making money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone would be making money. Even more than that, man. It's what the fans really want. If they want to grab back all the fans they lost when WCW went under, they want to grab them fans back. They need this. They need to see Roman Reigns fight whoever the top dog is in New Japan.
Okay.
Or the hottest upcoming wrestler that got like 5 of the independent belts. You know what I'm saying? Put him on WWE TV a couple weeks or a month or two.
Right.
Coming in, beating down with his little fashion or whatever it is, and then you set up the Forbidden Door thing.
Right. You set up that rival.
Man. And then it like free agency stuff. It makes so many angles with the free agency. Like, say someone's in AEW and they have this rivalry going, but WWE offers them a lot more money when free agency comes.
Right.
With this Forbidden Door, you can take that rivalry still, and that was them two in AEW, and he goes side in WWE.
Right.
They may not be able to bring it to WWE or bring it back to AEW, but they can hit the independents with that rivalry and then bring it back to the Forbidden Door, like the final cap off.
Yeah.
You know, say they can start it here, switch companies, hit it independent. There's so much opportunity there, though.
It would definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to see it. I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many angles you can do. Oh, yeah. We talk about New Japan, you know, Akira Shiro, man, he died.
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah, the guy that owns the New Japan Wrestling,
Yeah.
the one that fought Ali, the only time that, he beat Hulk Hogan. Triple H finally acknowledged that he was a WWE World Champion without ever wrestling in WWE. Yeah, he beat Hulk Hogan many moons ago when he was a young wrestler. He was also one that had that one fat wrestler that I can't remember his name. His whole gimmick was he would no sell you. Right. You know, when you would punch him in the face and he act like it wouldn't hurt. Right. So he would act like it wouldn't hurt. And he got mad. And he beat the dog crap out of him right there in the ring. You know.
Yeah.
He shot on him. Shot. There's some pistols in there.
Okay, we're going to go to our next subject. And that is the future of women's wrestling.
The future of women's wrestling.
Yes.
Well, let's hear from you this time.
Okay, what I would like to see is AEW finally do a women's tag team.
Okay, so you're just talking about the AEW, future AEW women's tag team division.
Right.
Okay, I hear that.
It would be interesting. They have so many, good tag teams. Women's tag teams.
Yeah, they have a lot of potential with the tag teams. And it gets some of them younger females that don't have much experience in singles.
And with somebody that has the experience and do a tag team.
Yeah, I mean, WWE got the women's division cornered.
I agree.
And that's why I like the Forbidden Door. It can raise the women's division too. So, I mean, this is kind of spin back to the Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
They can raise the women's division even higher. You got Charlotte Flair. Woo! Fighting Nyla Rose.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting.
The beast against the daughter of the man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's all types of angles that you will never see. And with WWE, with their talent, that would help AEW big time. And I agree, they need the tag team to get some of the young females that have some talent, but they don't have that much ring experience.
Right, they need that little extra.
Instead of sending them back down to the minor leagues or the independent leagues, they can do the tag team and get that experience and get that good push.
I agree. It would definitely be nice. Another is to see the women in more main events. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Let them main event.
I agree because some of these women nowadays still. So I used to hate women wrestling. Not that I have anything against women being wrestlers. It was just all silicone and you can't punch them. And they had such big fake boobies that they couldn't even run. They couldn't do nothing. Of course, finally later in the 2000s, you had some like that, and I wish Chyna was alive nowadays. She would kill.
Beth Phoenix is another one though. She wasn't plastic surgery or anything else.
But that's what I'm saying.
She
it was so
a buff woman. You know what I mean?
It was so small females that can actually wrestle. Wrestling with all looks and gimmicks and calendars. So I didn't like the women wrestling. And then, later on it comes in all the women wrestling, even the ones that could, would get cut if their time ran over. Right. It's not happening as much nowadays, but yeah, that's another thing. Like you said, main event them so they can have that time to shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or even opening up, because nowadays opening up is like a main event in its own self. It don't get shut up. It don't get cut. Your main event don't get cut.
Right.
And it does your opening match. Right. So if you can guarantee that, if they ain't gonna main event, they can open up.
Right.
So like vice versa. If the females are the main event, then a guy opens up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And reverse it every time.
Right.
That way they can get them good matches in.
Yes, that would be nice to see. because a lot of, I see a lot of talent and a lot of them from WWE and AEW. You know what I mean? I don't watch enough of the independents or anything else to really know.
See, I like the independents because they're the wrestlers we grew up. A lot of them are the ones developing it. You know what I'm saying? Or they're training the people that they're sending to that independent. Right. So that's why I like the independent.
And I understand. I know I try to catch it with you from time to time. But
see, I think what else in the future for the women? I think the intergender matches.
Yeah, the women and men doing it together.
Yeah, but as of now, the mainstream intergender, like the women and the men can't really fight.
Right.
But on the independent, they're fighting like crazy.
Right, and I think I've caught one match with you about the they were fighting. The women were allowed to fight the men, and the men were allowed to fight the women.
Yeah, and I think they need more of that, so they can push them over.
Right.
Get them over. So yeah, I think the future of women's wrestling is in good hands. They just need more. I mean, they need another sport. They got women basketball. Other than that, they don't have a professional sport.
It would be nice to see them have their own.
If they can push them right, you can see more than female athletes come straight to wrestling and make that sport even better. So I think that's the future, showing that you can make it as a female wrestler and get more than female athletes straight out of college, straight out of Olympics.
Jade Cargill, for example. Because she was a basketball player.
Yeah, same thing.
You know what I mean?
But basketball players have an avenue out. I'm talking about all the other athletes that don't.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go take a little siesta and a little what I know that other state. So catch you on the flip side. Bro. Welcome back.
Welcome. And our next subject is going to be the future of wrestling and MMA.
Yes, because I think these two sports are going to be combined. I've been saying that for a while, but the first inkling, if you think I'm on the wrong track here, look at Riddle and your favorite wrestler in WWE. Come on, tell me his name.
My favorite wrestler.
Mr. Stomp.
Frickin' Seth.
Seth frickin' Rollins.
No, it's frickin' Seth. I don't call him Seth frickin' Rollins. It's frickin' Seth. Yes, I get it.
Yep. And if you want some more proof, look at the guy that claimed this term, Tony Khan, man. That man's trained just about every big MMA fighter in there.
Yeah, he's got a lot in there. I mean, CM Punk done MMA for a while.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got Hagar.
You got Josh
Woods. You got
Paige Van Zandt.
You got bro. I mean, there's so many. I mean, come on. How about the man beast?
Okay.
Brock.
Yeah.
Brock
was definitely a big one in there.
And even Joe Rogan saying that the sport's dying. The sport's dying because look, it's just like boxing. It's going through that fixed stage, and people are catching on to it. And I said when MMA started, it's not going to catch on to TV. The way they had it in arenas, casinos, and stuff like that. It was perfect. Tough man contest is perfect because it only lasts 40 seconds. Now all of a sudden every match is lasting to the decision. Right. That ain't better training. That's better scripting.
Very
That's
true.
why I say it's gonna get pushed. Not saying that they can't beat the crap out of someone, or they're not going to 100 and all.
Right.
But they know people are getting sick and tired. It's just like when Mike Tyson was knocking everyone out in 18 seconds. People, I spent $100 on this for 18 seconds.
Right.
It
wasn't even worth it.
So they're going through that phase like boxing did, and boxing lost a lot of fans because they could tell that a lot of the cards were false. Just get to the decision and we'll get who wins and all that good junk. So MMA is going to get transported in there. Now remember, shooting in wrestling is a big thing, right? So this is a way they can have MMA fighters on the card on the pay-per-views, right? They have 1 or 2 matches,
right?
And this is also a way where they can set up a MMA guy that wants to transition matter into wrestling, and you can also take some people that don't get along in the locker room and put them in a real go ahead, knock yourself out in 30 seconds if you want to, instead of doing the way it is now with shoot matches. Give us a good 3 minutes of match, knock yourself out for the next 3 or 4 minutes, and then whoever gets the better of each other guarantees the win.
Right.
I mean, that's basically what shoot matches are, man. Give us the good 3 or 4 minutes. Go ahead and knock each other out. Whoever gets the better of them, the other one lays down and gets pinned.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, it don't always end up that way, but...
No. And I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to mix them together.
I think it's made to mix together. I mean, I thought that with the ring, that TNA Impact, whatever you want to call it, with Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love that ring. I am so mad Hulk Hogan made him get rid of the plant from WWE, Hulk Hogan, whatever. Yeah. So, I think the future of MMA and wrestling is going to be together, and I think it's going to be good for both sports. Because they won't have to rig it because they already got attendance. They already got an audience.
Right.
So they can let people knock each other out in 30, 40 seconds.
Right. Well, we will see if it comes out since you put it out there in the ether.
Oh, I think someone else is doing it.
All right. And our last subject for the night is the future of independent wrestling.
Ooh, who you want to start?
I think I'm going to start on this one.
All right.
I know Cody and Brandy since they left AEW. And I'm sure it was before, but I had just found out after that they run one of the wrestling schools.
Right.
Or a wrestling school. And of course, there's Booker T that runs his wrestling school in Texas. I'm sure there's plenty others that I don't have on my list. But I would like to see more come out of the independents to help make those independents better.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think the independents need to come more like baseball as the minor leagues. You know what I'm saying? You get some talent, you send it to one of the schools, so they need to sign with like WWE, AAA,
Okay.
AEW, New Japan, and become like a minor league.
Okay. That
Where
would make
you got
sense.
someone coming in, they got a lot of talent, you know what I'm saying? But they have no ring experience in front of people or in the ring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're
WWE got that training center where they actually train you outside the ring, which is fine.
Right.
But the in ring and in front of the crowd and performing in front of the crowd is what a lot of things. So if you don't have that right away when you get signed to WWE, you get cut, and then you're in the minor leagues any goddamn way.
Right.
So this is a way to cut that out. You sign WWE signed the WWE signs the talent, sends it down there to get them trained. They get all of it once because after they're trained all week, they do a wrestling show. They get to perform in front of people. They get to perform their craft, and it just works out. And it'll make bigger crowds for the independent because they know they're going to see a future star. They may see a future star every time they go to one of these independents because they know so-and-so got signed from AAA, so-and-so got signed for AEW, but they're going to spend a year on independents getting trained.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm only going to bring it up because I've watched Sammy Guevara with you when he was on Independence.
When he was in ROW.
Yeah.
Out of Houston, yeah. I seen him when I was living in Houston in Triple.
ROW.
Booker T and ROW were on their superstation on like the Fox at midnight or whatever it was. Yeah, and that's when I first started seeing.
And I know there's been a couple others that we've seen come from the Independence, and I like it. It's a good break.
And here goes in what I was also talking about being a minor league. So now you have a skit or an angle you want to work with these two wrestlers, right? But you're not sure it's going to get over. So now you have these minor leagues basically signed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got the ones that have a little experience, but they ain't got no real TV time. So you want to put them somewhere that got a little local TV time instead of putting them straight to the bottom. You know, kind of like a AA, AAA. So you have this angle, but you're not sure it's going to work on TV. So you send it down to one of your minor leagues or one of the independent leagues.
Yeah.
Right? And they just, because they're signed, they just stop their angles for a week or two. And they just play this angle. And then it's like a studio audience watching something for the first time to see if there's any traction to it, so if they want to make a movie or whatever out of it.
Okay. I can follow what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So they could use the independents that way. So they could run a bunch of these ideas and then find out which ones are getting over, which one isn't getting over.
Which is going to work best and which isn't.
Right. So, you know, and to keep the independents interesting, because now you want to go there because you might see a skit or something that works in the independent, but it's not going to work on TV.
Right.
But it's the only time you're ever going to see it.
Right. No.
So it make people want to go to independent shows more.
Right. Draw that bigger crowd.
Yeah.
Make them bigger than what they are.
Yeah. So this is where I see the future of independence. Because I really think wrestling's going to end up catching on because all these injuries with athletes.
Yeah.
In other sports, and then they fall apart. This gives them their way out.
Okay. Yeah, because in the past you've seen Goldberg, ex-Atlanta Falcons player.
A lot of NFL players. Yeah, a lot of basketball players.
I'd say quite a few basketball players.
Yeah, a lot of tall basketball players end up making that transition. A lot of football players make that transition. Not much baseball because they got the minor leagues and then you get super paid when you're in the major leagues.
Right.
But with that all being said, you got a lot of college students that were in those areas, and then when they get out, they try to go overseas or whatever.
Right.
And they can't make it. This gives them a way out. It's a small window nowadays that a lot of these people don't even try, and they could be the best superstar ever.
Yeah, you don't know.
But now that they know they can make money on the independents as well as the major leagues, and it's all tied together like baseball.
Right.
People be like, well, I blew my knee out, but let me give wrestling a try.
Yeah.
Or I got cut from this team because I didn't have it, or I lost my passion for it, but let me give wrestling a try.
Let me try.
It's not a laughing stock like it used to be.
Right. No, I agree, because anytime you'd see him bring a celebrity player or something in, just as, okay, they're going to come in and wrestle this wrestler, for a night or whatever.
Right.
It's a laughing stock, honestly.
Right.
That's what it used to be anyway.
Well, wrestling's catching traction with everybody nowadays because it's not as fake as it used to be. Not saying it ain't scripted, not saying they ain't friends. It's just not as fake as they have like a code between them. You can knock the crap out of me as long as I'm able to knock the crap out of you, as long as we're getting the fans to crowd.
Right.
There's more love for the sport because it is a sport, even though it's a performance sport.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a male soap opera. I've been saying that for generations, but that's besides the point.
Right.
Hey, women got soap operas. Why can't men have soap operas?
Men can have all the soap opera they want.
And there's men that watch female soap operas. I know I watched General Hospital when I was young, but that used to be my punishment for taking days off of school. But I got into it, but that's a whole other story.
And I watch the wrestling, so over the women's soap operas, I'd rather watch the men's soap opera.
But that's what it is. It's just a male soap opera.
I know it is.
But at the same point in time, it is interesting if it's done right.
No, I totally agree.
And
it's definitely got to be done right.
And with these independents, there's a third major, like back in the day, you had ECW, WCW, and WWE, WWF, right? You had these three.
Right.
it made wrestling. You know, you gotta have that 3. 2, not so good. 3 makes a whole better angles.
Okay.
And it gets with 3. You have 3 sides. You got the East Coast, West Coast, and the Midwest.
Okay. Yeah.
So that you always have a wrestling somewhere. Okay, that's why they need a 3rd one, which makes the independents work harder because they know there's going to be a 3rd spot somewhere. That's why AEW making it is so important. So you can make the independents better to get to one of the independents.
Right.
Get to the 3rd. Which independent I think should make the 3rd one?
Which one?
I mean, I used to think ROH, but since ROH is tied with AEW, that don't really count no more.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to play that out. I don't know if they're going to give them their own TV show or they're just going to keep it the way it is. I kind of like it the way it is. I think they need another 2-hour show, but that's a whole nother story. I think Impact deserves it.
Okay. I can agree.
I think Impact deserves to be the 3rd big one.
Yeah, Impact's got a lot of...
Oh, well, they've had, so I mean, ever since WCW, they've been that 2nd one that could have, but they let Hogan in.
Right.
They never let Hogan in. They might have done something.
Hogan shoots them all.
Oh, no. So now, with all that being said, Smurfy, you got anything to say?
Well, I think not right now.
Not right now?
No, I got some wrestling to catch up on and get a few other things done. So I think I'm going to sign off for the night.
Alright, this is Nobby.
And this is
All
Smurfy.
rise. All rise.
And thank you for joining us on our pondering time. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
And Smurfy, the alien, has left the building! Yeah!
Top guys out.